Welcome to Canadian Running Magazine's Olympic Preview. I'm Mihira Lakshman along with Michael Doyle, and the track and field competition gets started on Friday, Michael. Let's get right to it. Canada's top medal hopes probably come in the first weekend. Dylan Armstrong in the shot put, Jessica Zelinka and Brianne Thiessen in the women's heptathlon. Let's start with Armstrong. What do you think his chances are?
His chances are very high. I think for Armstrong, anything less than a gold medal is going to be a disappointment. Obviously, Canadians will be hoping to see a podium in throwing for the very first time ever, but he's going to need to throw 22 meters or better, probably. He missed the podium by literally 1 centimeter in Beijing, and so he's going to want to look to excel. And in terms of Zelinka, she's sitting around 4th right now in the world in the heptathlon. Another strong possibility that we could see a medal in that event.
Yeah, both Armstrong and Zelinka were dangerously close to the podium in Beijing. Zelinka seems to be in the best shape of her life, just a couple of years after having her first child too, so an amazing athlete we're seeing there. Now, on to the distance runners. Alex Janae in the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase, Nate Brennan in the men's 1,500. They get underway on Friday. Michael, Alex Janae is going to have his work cut out for him. Nate Brennan should advance through the heats.
Yeah, I would say Brandon's looking to find his way into the finals. I wouldn't say comfortably, but he's certainly focused on that. He missed out in the finals in Beijing and watched his training partner Nick Willis then subsequently medal. He's healthy. He's running really well, 3:34. PBing this year. He got that standard out of the way very early. So I would say we're looking at a different runner from 4 years ago, a more mature runner, somebody who should fare quite well.
When I spoke with Nate Brennan in Toronto, he thinks he's in 3:32 shape, so if that's the case, we should be seeing Nate Brennan in the finals. Janae will have to beat some of the tough Africans to get through, so we'll watch for that. Women's 1,500 gets started on Monday. Nicole Cifuentes, Hillary Stellingwerf, both have potential to make it through the semis and into the finals. Now, Michael, we have to mention the women's hurdles before we get on to more distance runners. 3 hurdlers from Canada in this race: Felicia George, Nikita Holder, Jessica Zelinka. What do you think of their chances?
Well, obviously from the trials, Zelinka was the huge surprise because she came out of nowhere and won it. I think Canadians were expecting to see 3 different athletes representing Canada in the hurdles. That said, we've got a lot of depth, and I think anything can happen in that event, even on the global stage.
Yeah, one of them could sneak onto the podium, though I think if Priscilla Lope-Schleep was involved, Canadians would be expecting a podium finish in the hurdles. That said, it wouldn't be out of the question to see 3 women in that final. The men's marathon, August 12th. It's going to be a big day for the Canadian running community, Michael. Dylan Wykes, Reed Coolset, Eric Gillis. How excited are you about this one?
I'm ecstatic. I'm going to be up first thing in the morning to watch, well, before first thing in the morning to watch this. I think this is going to be a watershed moment for Canadian running. There could be a top 10 finish from a Canadian in the marathon. I mean, that's at least what the Coolside camp is talking quite a bit about. Maybe a sub 2:10, which would be a Canadian marathon record. That said, the course is not favorable. Lots of twists and turns, a few loops, which takes the edge off, and it could be a hot day. Mid-morning start, London, could be humid. That could slow things down. If that's the case, it becomes a tactical match, and then it's anyone's game. I personally like Dylan Wykes because I think he's coming in with a little chip on his shoulder. He's sort of the black sheep of the group, and he's got something to prove. And marathon is a mental game, and he's also run the second fastest Canadian time ever. So those are things to look out for. But all that said, it's going to be a fantastic morning for Canadian running.
Yeah, all 3 of those guys enter the race healthy, which is a big thing considering the amount of mileage they've been putting in, so we certainly could see an outstanding performance there. Another distance runner who we need to talk about is Cam Levins in the men's 10,000 meter. That's earlier in the week, actually Saturday, and he's going to be looking for a top 10 performance himself. Mohammed Ahmed is the other Canadian in that race, but could we see something special from Levins?
Well, I mean, Levins is proving this year that anything is possible with this guy. He's run a 27-27, which is pretty formidable. That said, he's now running against men, whereas he was sort of running against boys in the NCAAs and dominating. I think that this will be a great experience for him. I look to see him lead a chase pack, perhaps, trying to hunt down some Africans and exercise that devastating kick that he's got in the last 400 and see, anything is possible in the Olympics.
Well, Michael, stay tuned to runningmagazine.ca for our continued coverage of the Olympic track and field. And visit us on Monday when we'll be back to wrap up the opening performances of the weekend. For Michael Doyle, I'm Mihira Lakshman.